In the final video, I want to tie together what we've just been talking about with portfolio allocation to what we talked about last week with Bitcoin dominance. So what I'm showing here is the performance of Bitcoin versus the top 20 cryptos, just as an example. And this was from the beginning of 2019 up to today. And what you can see is that for the most part, Bitcoin has been significantly outperforming the other cryptocurrencies. So that's just, by mid 2019, Bitcoin was up 200% and the other cryptos were up about 70%. And Bitcoin has generally stayed ahead, even whilst things have been going down. This big dip here was the beginning of the pandemic, and the whole market was crashing, but Bitcoin's returns stayed well ahead of the top 20 cryptos. And this was all the way through, really, until, let's call it, the beginning of January of 2021. And what happened in the beginning of January 2021, when Bitcoin was up 948% and the other cryptos were up 148%, is that these lines started coming together and the top 20 went from all the way down here to now just peaking ahead of Bitcoin. So by now, at this point, the top 20 are actually up more, 1,500%, and Bitcoin 1,400%. Let's break that down. And if we look at what happened here, this is from, let's move this to the beginning of January. And yes, from the beginning of January, the top 20 cryptos have vastly outperformed Bitcoin. As we know, Bitcoin's been going sideways and the other cryptos have been going much higher. Now, looking forwards to the rest of this bull market, do we expect this to continue? Do we think Bitcoin is going to continue to go sideways or even up? But do we think the altcoins are going to go up much more than Bitcoin? Well, talked about Bitcoin dominance in the last cycle, and we said that at some point we do expect the Bitcoin dominance to turn. And looking at the Bitwise charts, this is the Bitwise charts from approximately mid 2017 through to the Bitcoin cycle peak. And again, similarly, altcoins had been outperforming Bitcoin. That's what we see here when the altcoins are going Bitcoin's going up, but the altcoins are going up much more. But what happened in 2017, if we start it from there, then by the cycle peak, Bitcoin had gone up 679%, and the altcoins had only gone up 100% or so since in about 6 months. Now let's tie all of that together and figure out what it means for the rest of this cycle. Well, for me, what it means, again, once we see the turn in the Bitcoin dominance, and we have seen some signs of it over the past few days, then what we're expecting is that Bitcoin to vastly outperform the altcoins. It should look similar to this, and the altcoins will still go up, but Bitcoin will go up much more. So now relaying all of that to portfolio allocation, altcoins are still going up. So if you have a basket of altcoins or a portfolio of altcoins that you really like, then of course holding them through to the cycle peak is a really good strategy. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to be slightly more active with your portfolio allocation, what that would mean is starting to, let's go to here. Let's say you're in one of these portfolios over here. And if you are looking to be active and make sure that you benefit most from the waves, because over the past 4 months, we've had a wave of altcoins, which is called alt season. Now, the next 4 months or so, what we're expecting for the wave is that Bitcoin will start outperforming altcoins. So it makes sense if you've been going down here, even if you've been doing it over time by buying various altcoins with your Bitcoin, now is approximately the time, based upon the last cycle, to be moving back over to a number 2 or a number 1. That is not only reducing your risk, but it's actually in this case now potentially increasing your return. If we do see a similar pattern play out to 2017, and I absolutely expect that to happen. The money, the capital that has flowed into altcoins will very, very quickly flow back into Bitcoin, particularly once we see Bitcoin take out its all-time high. And that will lead us up into the cycle peak somewhere around September or October. And all of that is covered in the Bitcoin playbook. So please do go and sign up. Link is in the description. There's a lot more detail on the Bitcoin 4-year cycle. Our price targets and date targets are in there. And then used in conjunction with these videos, hopefully that gives you everything you need to make really, really good decisions, because I'm seeing a lot of confusion and I'm seeing people without a clear strategy. And hopefully what the information that I'm providing you is going to help you create a really, really good strategy that helps you benefit the most from this golden opportunity that we have in front of us. So thank you for listening. Please share these videos and I'll talk to you soon.